everybody, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do a video, I don't know if this is a thing. So I tend to like movies that a lot of people don't remember or didn't really like when they first came out, or I'll watch a movie that, you know, was popular at the time and then I had no interest in it, and then watching it later in life I'm like, oh my god, this movie is fantastic, and then I try to talk about it with other people and they're like, that movie wasn't that great. I guess they're B movies, or maybe it's those movies that everyone thought they were gonna be just fantastic, but then they just flopped. But to me, they're not flops. To me, I like all of these movies. So I thought I would share some movies that I love and share their Rotten Tomato rating, as well as what the audience thinks of the movie, and the IMDb rating. So let's just jump into it. So my number one favorite type of genre, it's gonna be so cliche because I'm a girl, but I love me some romantic comedies. I'm all about the rom-coms. One of my favorite ones is Elizabethtown with Orlando Bloom and Kirsten Dunst. It's a really good story. If you don't know what that movie is about, basically Orlando Bloom is this guy who invents this really awesome looking shoe. It's supposed to be the shoe that takes over the world and make the company like zillions and zillions of dollars. He alienates his family, kind of like, because he was so career focused and career driven, he forgot about his family. And there's a lot of flashes where it's like Christmas and there's a place for him but he's not there, and him and his dad had planned this like epic road trip. They were gonna see all these monuments and it was gonna be a good bonding experience for them as father and son. Turns out it was a big failure.
You failed, 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 you failed. You failed, you failed, you failed, you failed, you...
And he loses the company like $2 billion.
$1 billion! That's a lot of millions.
And obviously he loses his job. Because of his failure, he decides that he's going to kill himself. On the night that he is going to kill himself, he gets a phone call from his sister who says that their dad has just passed away. And since he's the oldest, it's his job to go to Elizabethtown where his dad was visiting family and bring his body back. While he's on the plane, he meets Kirsten Dunst, who is a flight attendant, and she just keeps talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. They bond, and he lands in Elizabethtown. So Kirsten Dunst, being this flight attendant slash ye of all knowing when it comes to roads in America, makes him a road trip for him and his dad, because he has his dad cremated, and he gets to take his dad home via road trip. So they get to have the road trip that they didn't get to have while he was alive. It sounds very cheesy and very, you know, corny and bleh, but it's a Cameron Crowe movie. You need to watch it. It's really good. On with the ratings. Rotten Tomatoes gave this, out of 100%, gave it a 29% rating. However, I have a little bit more faith. The audience rating is 66%. So it's not great, but it's a lot better than 29%. And then the IMDb rating out of 10 stars is 6.4. So again, not great, but it could be worse. Second movie I'm going to mention is, this one surprised me, The Bodyguard. Like, everyone knows what The Bodyguard's about. It has Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. Everyone knows what The Bodyguard is. I don't need to explain what The Bodyguard is. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 35. Why? Why'd you do that? These critics on Rotten Tomatoes obviously don't know what they're talking about. The audience, though, again came to my rescue a little bit, and it's a 64% audience rating, and IMDb rated it. It's rated at a 6.2 on IMDb. Another one that I'm going to mention is Son-in-Law. There's not a lot of movies that focus around Thanksgiving, and that's what I liked about Son-in-Law. There's like a million movies that are, you know, about Christmas. There's, you know, some involving New Year's and some involving, you know, other holidays, but Thanksgiving doesn't get enough representation. Maybe on Hallmark now, but, you know, as far as movies like that you'd actually go to the theater and watch, there's not that many Thanksgiving ones. So that's why I like Son-in-Law. It has Pauly Shore, and it was Pauly Shore like in his prime when he was the Weasel. So he's he plays this resident advisor, and this girl named Rebecca, I don't remember the actress's name, sorry. She moves from North Dakota to go to college in California to this co-ed school. Pauly Shore plays this character named Crawl. I don't think you ever figure out his real name, but Crawl is a nickname of his, and he's the resident advisor. And so it comes around Thanksgiving break, and they're all supposed to go home. So she's gonna go, he's gonna stay behind and be all alone by himself in the dorms. And she's like, why don't you come home with me? She takes Crawl, who is like,
and I'm the resident advisor.
Oh, shit.
What? Hey, wait, come back. Don't leave me hanging.
I guess eccentric is a good word for him. I don't know. She takes him with her to, you know, North Dakota or South Dakota, whatever Dakota. And it's just a funny movie. You have to watch it. Promise me you'll at least watch that one. If you don't watch Elizabethtown, whatever, let's start a movement of YouTube. Let's petition for more Thanksgiving movies. Christmas takes over, and I think Thanksgiving needs a little bit more love. From the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, it is rated at 21%, which is just sad, because I think it's really good. I think it's funny. You know, it's from 1993, I think. So given the time and like the cultural references and what have you, I think it still holds up. I still see it on like ABC Family and stuff every year. So I mean, it's not like it's a bad movie. I mean, there is like a bachelor party thing, but you don't see anything, so it's not like, oh my gosh. But anyway, so the critics gave it 21%. The audience rating is 58%, and then IMDb gave it 5.7 stars. I'm a little disappointed in these ratings. I think this is the last one I'm gonna do. Is 88 minutes. These numbers are gonna blow your mind. So 88 minutes. This was one of those accidental finds, I guess. A lot of my accidental finds has Al Pacino in them. 88 minutes has Al Pacino and Alicia Witt. He plays a psych professor. So at the beginning of the movie, it flashes to where he was giving like a psychoanalysis of this guy who was on trial for murder, saying that if he's released that he will kill again. And that basically puts this guy in jail. So the movie takes place like 20 years later or something. There's a copycat killer. Like conveniently, this copycat killer is starting to kill like 2 days before his execution. So the guy's mentality is, oh, well, if there's someone that's killing them exactly like how I killed them, then, you know, maybe y'all have the wrong guy. I need to be released. Turns out he's just freaking nuts. You find out what 88 minutes means in the movie, so I'm not going to spoil that for you.
Yeah.
You have 88 minutes to live.
Who's this?
Tick-tock.
Who the hell is this?
It's him trying to track this copycat killer down because he's threatening his family and his friends. I thought it was really good. I watched it almost every day when it first came out because I just liked it that much. So Rotten Tomatoes, you critics, for real, you critics are driving me nuts. 5%. That's just... No, it at least deserves, out from apparently what you guys think is good or whatever, it at least deserves like a 30 from you people. Not 5. We're getting single digits. Are you serious? The audience rating is at 43%, which is way higher than 5, but not high enough for me. The IMDb rating, though, is 5.9, so it almost has 6 stars, which is kind of cool compared, you know, to the other numbers that I have in front of me. So those are some movies that I like that have bad ratings. So I'm curious if there's any movies out there that you guys like that maybe not everyone else likes, or maybe they got bad reviews or whatever. Leave them down in the comments. Leave me what the Rotten Tomatoes rating is, the audience rating, and the IMDb rating. And let's compare notes because I thought this was fun. I don't know if this is a thing. If it is, cool. If it's not, maybe it can be. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.